Hey guys, what's up? So my name is David, and I'm from Zimbabwe. And 18 or so months ago, I moved to the Netherlands. And yeah, the Netherlands has been something I'd say that's really taken me out of my comfort zone. My geo skills aren't that good, but let me just show you how far that journey is. So Zimbabwe is here, right? And Netherlands is like up here. And I don't know how many kilometers that is, but yeah, it's like more than a day traveling. Okay, so enough boring stuff about me. The reason I started this channel is because, okay, I moved there and I literally had to freestyle everything. Like, the experience of being an African kid going to now the Western world is like, it's completely different. And you can research, you can YouTube as much as you want. Like, you can look, and like, there's nothing there. Well, I failed to find anything that actually like helped me besides like, yeah, the generic. Okay, this is what you can do with your degree. These are the degrees available. You'll be getting a Schengen visa. The Netherlands, the people in the Netherlands speak Dutch. Yeah, basically just like straightforward stuff that like doesn't really prepare you for it. And now with the world like really opening up for like I'd say African kids, because like their parents were educated and now we are educated. So nah, I'm joking. I don't even know why there's so many Africans going to the Western world, but there are a lot of us going now, and yeah, there's just a lot of us going to the Western world. So yeah, I felt okay, why not? I create this channel and give my experiences so that like you don't end up going through a lot of what I went through, which I felt wasn't favorable for an international in a new country. Okay, so my channel is basically just gonna start off as like a series. I'm not sure how many episodes yet, but like about my stories, what I've gone through, and then I'm gonna slowly turn it into like a podcast where like now after like I've given the African perspective, I'll bring in like different like other cultures, like maybe European, Australian. Yeah, you get the vibe. Okay, to get the channel started, I'm just gonna give you like the three things I feel like really like, yeah, they got my feet wet in the Netherlands. By the way, they actually call it Holland, and I didn't know that until I was there. And people were like, "Yeah, Holland, Holland." I know it sounds dumb, but like, yeah, this is one of those things like I didn't know. The first thing is like people don't realize how fucking small the Netherlands actually is. Like coming from Zimbabwe, I just expected that like the first world, the developed world, is just bigger. I know it doesn't make sense, but like that's what I thought. And coming here, I then realized that Holland is actually 9 times smaller than Zimbabwe. To be honest, it didn't really hit me until like 6 months in, where like I realized that shit. I'm traveling from my city, The Hague, Den Haag, to Enschede, which is like on the other side of the Netherlands, literally by the German border, in 3 hours. And I'm like, what? In the Netherlands, literally going from one side of the country to the other side is literally not more than 4 hours, like maximum. And that was something that really like fucked me up. Along with imagine the central shopping center, like being 2 kilometers away from where you live, and that's considered far. Imagine, just imagine in like a 5 kilometer radius in the Netherlands, you can have tens of thousands of people staying there. And I'd guess, don't quote me, but in my home country in Zimbabwe, that is like equivalent to like maybe like 25 kilometers, because like it's so like densely populated. I think that's the right like the right, yeah, the right wording description. But yeah, I feel like how it's so small and how it's so densely populated is how like everything really works with like the bikes, and that's something I'll touch on just now, which is also quite big. But like how everything like functions so well, like the trains are so quick, and yeah. But there are downsides to that. Like there's a housing crisis right now, and like I'm actually homeless, but that's for another like episode. I'll touch on housing and everything. But yeah, it's very hard to find a house in the Netherlands. The second thing I'd say that really like messed with me was that, okay, I know this is gonna sound dumb, but like everything in the Netherlands is actually in Dutch. So I went into a grocery store once, right? And I wanted to have like breakfast the next day. So at back home, I was used to having like baked beans, which are like white beans. I know that now. And I'm looking for them. I'm looking for them. And the Dutch culture is completely different from the Zimbabwean culture. So now I found myself buying some, yeah, I don't even know what it was, but it just was not baked beans. And that's like just like an example of like the language barrier messing you up. So when you come, if you come, you need to be ready for that. Back to like language barrier, you could even be on a train. And then I remember this one time. So I was going to another city with one of my friends, and they talk in Dutch on the trains, especially when you're going to like the small village cities, right? Okay, that was a bit rude. The small cities, because like they're not villages, but like they're like called that. So when you're going there, they'll speak Dutch mostly in the train. And now we don't like really understand Dutch on the level where we can hear it like when someone fluent is speaking. So what they told them, what the commander, like the train driver said, was he said, "Hey, everyone please exit at this stop because the train is gonna stop running." So yeah, they told everyone to exit, and you don't realize that a lot of people are exiting because there's some stops where like a lot of people will leave the train. So you just think it's normal. And then now we found out that the train had stopped for like a good like 10 minutes because it wasn't like a transit thing. And then we go and we find out we're like four people in the train, and all of us happen to be only people who spoke English. And we get told that, yeah, the train is not going anywhere. And it wasn't even at a station. It was like, yeah, it was somewhere. And the third thing that really like sparked me was just the whole bike culture. Okay, it's everywhere on Google. You know that bikes are in the Netherlands, but you don't know the extent to how serious it is. So in the Netherlands, there's a red road specifically for bikes, and it has lanes. They have bikes have robots. Your bike has to have lights. If it doesn't, you get fined. I'll talk about that in a later episode. But like, the point of this is because so I had two heavy suitcases. Imagine I'm coming from the airport. My flight was far, so like, yeah, I had a lot of luggage. And the red roads, because they're for bikes, are very smooth. So I decided, why not let me just drag my stuff on there. And then now, Dutch people are very blunt, and they're not the most patient. So I'm dragging my two suitcases on the road, and there's just so many bikes overtaking me, ringing the bells. I think people were actually cursing at me, but I just didn't know because, yeah, it's in Dutch, and it was my first day, so like I know nothing literally in Dutch. This was kind of like the trailer of the whole series, and I really hope you get a feel of like how what I'm gonna talk about and how it can help you in you coming to like the Netherlands. So yeah, please, if you want me to talk about specific things that like you're curious about, just leave a comment in the comment section, or you can even hit me up on my Instagram. My Instagram is @Vade, and yeah, thanks for watching.